Hello and welcome once again to the FwdCompatible podcast. This is episode 85, part 1.
Of 3?
No.
No, I think
Part 1 of 2.
Part 1 of undecided at this point.
For September, we feel like it.
For September 22nd, 2013, my name's Tony. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Brian, Mark, and Mossies. Jason and Ace are hanging out in the background.
Poor puppy.
She's undecided. If we have another figment of our imagination over here as well.
If Moss makes a mistake, she'll chime in and correct him.
I probably will.
You are the Moss bullshit checker.
Yes.
So, we're joined by many for this fine episode.
You're a fine episode.
I suppose, how's everybody's week been?
See what happens when I'm not on the show?
Very eventful week.
Go ahead, good sir.
Well, I played a lot of games, which we will get into shortly. Went to the flea market this morning.
How did that go?
It's nice.
There's going to be a new jingle, the weekly flea market update with Moss.
Actually, we could do, because I always go looking for video game stuff, so...
Yeah, it's relevant to the show, by all means.
Well, when I got this guy, it's a Mega Man little plush doll. I think it cost me $3. Not bad.
It's got crabs.
I'd be honest, I only wanted to buy it so that I can bring it on the show.
It's pretty much served its purpose.
Okay, so when you leave again next
Why don't we
month,
put him in front of the... He could be our official mascot. We
Yeah.
can leave him in front of the microphone.
I was going to say...
The Blue Bomber.
He's already someone's mascot, you realize.
But he's our mascot.
Wow, he's so blue.
Moss, when you leave next month, are you going to leave him here just so you're a part of the show every week then?
Yes.
It's Moss's contribution.
Yes, yeah. I hopefully over the next few weeks I can accumulate more as well. I want
We'll just have a whole row of fucking
Stuffed
Put a
plushies.
shelf underneath and just line it.
You do that?
So,
Yeah.
other things I got at the flea market, I bought another Nintendo.
What happened with this one? What'd you score it for?
50. It's in good condition. It came with Super Mario Brothers, Mario 2, Mario 3, a second copy of Mario 2, Dr. Mario, and one or two other games I don't remember. It came with a light gun, the gun.
Zapper.
The gun you could probably get like $10 for by itself, right?
I wouldn't say that much, but then it came with all the power controllers, 3 controllers though.
Mm-hmm.
It was in good condition.
It was a good value overall, right?
Yeah, I probably can resell that for, I'd say about 65, 70 maybe.
I'll give you $5 right now.
But,
I gave you that to mail
hey,
stuff.
Why not? I also found another vendor that had a bunch of NES games. I picked up a lot of, I think, 43 games for $80. So, not bad. Yeah, and then I found... let me rant about the flea market sometimes. So I go. The flea market opens at 6 o'clock, and I get there at like 6:05. Just some people are still setting up, so there's not as many vendors that are available. There's one guy in particular. He sells video games there every single week, and the problem with flea markets is the video game vendors. They usually they come in pairs, or 1 or 2 people come, and one guy mans the shop, and then the other guy goes up and down the aisles. Looking for other people's junk,
Yeah.
to try to get
a deal. Yeah.
That's why you have to go at 6 o'clock. Otherwise, you're going to be late. So I found. Then I was talking to the video game vendor, one of them, and he's like, we were talking about the guy who I bought the 43 games from, and apparently he had like 45 games. But
this guy got 2.
Yeah, he picked up like DuckTales for $5, and he picked up one other game. Not that expensive games like. There are games that are like $12 to $15 that he picked up for $5, so not like big bargains. But I hate people like that. That's why I hate. I wish those people didn't exist. I wish it was just all people like garage sale flea markets. And I also I picked up from another vendor. I bought Mick Kids for $3. Game's only worth like $10, but I don't have it in my collection. I have like almost 600 games, and I don't have that one. So. Added that.
It's another one off the bucket list.
Yeah.
Yes, like only like 200 more to go.
Even when I was like 10 and that game came out, I was just like, seriously, McKids? Really?
Yeah. And then we bought
McDonald's game?
bunch load of Mickey Mouse stuff, but that's not me. That's her.
How much?
What's it?
How many copies of Mickey Mouse Capade do you have?
We bought.
Be honest.
Oh, no, it was cool. The
That's
guy,
the two people
the
one,
guy
right?
who sold me the Nintendo console had this little Mickey Mouse figurine that walks, and he just threw it in.
That's nice.
Oh, that's a nice one.
It was probably gonna be like $1.
Yeah.
So we got a few, like this one giant talking Mickey Mouse, and we got like a Mickey Mouse alarm clock, and
Gets possessed every once in a while.
like plays
Mickey Mouse.
Like
Middle of the
Tiny
night.
Ruxpin?
Oh!
I don't know. We have to test it.
What she does?
He's attacking her
This
with
is very
kisses.
exciting.
But that's been some of my week. But yeah.
How about yourself, good sir?
Crap.
Bad week?
Bad week.
It's good. Tony?
How about yourself, good sir?
It was a busy week because one of my coworkers took a couple days off. Oh! He was gone for 2 days. It was ridiculous. Oh! Don't be a bitch, Mark. Come on. Oh! I can do a little bit of Kirby too.
This is a little off subject. Have you seen the South Park episode where they had Mickey Mouse?
That's what I'm quoting.
I haven't seen any.
Oh, we should show you that one. That one's interesting.
As a Mickey Mouse fan, I don't know if she should watch this.
I don't think she should.
Okay. Never mind.
All right. As for myself, nothing too exciting happened this week. No crazy fast food encounters, which has been my norm for the last few weeks. So I suppose,
We
We even went to the same Burger King today, too.
new weekly segments: Tony's fast food encounters and
Incursions. Sounds better.
Moss's flea market excursions.
yeah.
I have to leave the room when you
Excursions.
talk about the fast food so I don't kill myself.
All right. Well, I suppose we kick off the show with
You
our
asked me how I'm doing.
weekly.
Jason, what's
round-
Back there.
Yo,
You're not on the show.
I am
You're-
too.
He got a new toy. He's very excited and wants to show it off.
Yeah. What's up, bitches?
That's,
Wow, that hasn't been busted out in a long time. The sup bitches. Well, let's kick the show off with our weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing. Since
GTA
the last
5.
time
Oh,
we
sorry.
all spoke.
Yeah!
GTA 5.
It's getting incredibly loud in here.
Awesome. Good.
GTA
You wanna
5.
start with
GTA 5.
Start
Yes, it's very good. It's, the bad parts of 4 that you probably didn't like, driving, all that stuff, they
The whole game.
definitely... I know you hated it a lot more than I did, but, all that fun stuff is more arcadey feeling. It's fun to get around. Something interesting about running up to people and punching them in the back of the head. I don't know.
Stealthing them in the back of the head.
Stealthing them in the back of the head. There was that, and then I literally beat Kingdom Hearts this morning. So
Oh. Okay.
yes, 1.5, the first one, because I'm not even going to do the card one. I don't care enough.
Okay.
Rock on.
Well, I'll jump into that. My girlfriend actually been playing Kingdom Hearts, so
Yeah,
I've been
nice.
watching parts of Kingdom Hearts, and she's also been playing. We went to the GTA launch day, and we picked up.
We were all there.
We didn't.
We were all
went
there.
to. We went to the GTA launch event, and we didn't pick up GTA. I didn't. Instead, we bought Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and the Jack and Dexter HD collection.
Pre-owned.
Yes.
Which was Matt Hayes'
Yeah.
copy, because he had traded into
I
me
know.
2 hours earlier to afford Grand Theft Auto.
We realized if we would have gotten there early, we would have saved like $12. for
Yeah,
the
you could
game.
have just gave him $5 for the game.
By the way, I told our mutual friend when he gave you the display box for the Wii U that it would be up in 30 minutes, and it literally was.
Yes. Also at the GTA launch, I came home with a Game Informer magazine with A Link Between Worlds
You're
on the
welcome.
cover, with a display box for the Wind Waker Wii U, and a Kingdom Hearts 1.5 poster.
Is this the GameStop that I go
Yeah,
to as well?
This is
Okay.
my game stuff.
But so I've been watching Kara play Jack and Dexter 1. She's been playing the precursor.
Precursor orbs.
Yeah.
Hells yeah.
And Kingdom Hearts 1.
Yeah.
This is
yeah,
Kingdom Hearts 1.
yeah.
They're both PS2 games.
Yeah.
And Jack and Dexter was actually a launch title, or near launch title, I believe, for the PS2. It's an
It
early
was
game.
pretty
It's
early.
earlier,
It was like
yeah.
the first year or two. Yeah.
That game looks phenomenal with
Yeah.
the HD remake.
That'd be Naughty Dog, son.
It looks great.
Yeah.
It's
Kingdom Hearts
also-
does not look good at
It's
all.
also impressive because
There's
both.
certain things that didn't seem like they up-res whatsoever, and then when they stand out from something that is up-res, it looks awful in comparison. I noticed some of the trees they didn't even try with. So
Yeah.
you know,
It just looks like a PS2 game still. It doesn't. It's just like they upscaled it to HD, but
Jack and Daxter was one of. It is the first game where they programmed it where there's no loading screens in the middle of how big those maps are. They load once and then it lets you play, and that was like super impressive and super revolutionary at the time when the PS2 did that, because a lot of stuff when the scaling of the maps was real big, it would have to pause you, especially on the PlayStations, to load that segment of the map that you were entering. There'd be these like blank screens where you'd walk up to them and it'd be like, hold on, loading, and then it would render the rest of the map, and Jak and Daxter completely eliminated that.
There was one
fact.
thing with, since you're doing Kingdom Hearts, if you ever get up to Chain of Memories, no anti-aliasing whatsoever. Like, it looked far worse because, I mean, that was a handheld one, but still, it's, I mean...
So it's just pixel-tastic?
Yeah, like, on edges, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this on the HD collection?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pixel-tastic.
That's probably next on the list.
Yes, it is.
So
Are they just running it like an emulator or something? I mean...
I don't know what they did with
because
it.
you think if they ported it over, the system's built-in anti-aliasing would do something.
Yeah, no.
No, it wasn't a remastering. It was just an HD upscaling.
Right. Well, but
there's a difference between when they go through and redo everything, kind of like what they're doing with Wind Waker, and what they did with God of War or Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, but
God of War still has cutscenes because they didn't up-res the cutscenes. So in the God of War collection, the cutscenes are in PS2 still, literally. Even the stretch screen that you get in HD, it's still sized down to
that's
the.
disgusting.
That's what they did, but it was one of the first HD collections they made.
They're
So
like,
they didn't.
what do we do?
Yeah, so they didn't know what the hell to do. So the cutscenes shrink the size, and they're in PS2. Then you go back to playing, and that's up-resed.
Yeah, but even if they just ported it and not improved the graphics, anti-aliasing is where they blur things to make it look smoother. So if they're not even doing that, that's something that the system does on its own with 3D in general. So you'd think they would just enable, click the box to enable
a nice door opening. It was.
Yeah, that seems kind of half-assed.
Yeah, a little bit.
Weird.
So also played. I've been playing more Wind Waker, but we talked about that last week. I was at a buddy's house and we played some 5-player Nintendo Land.
How was that? I've only played a single player.
We played the Mario Chase game, 5-player. That was like outrageously fun.
Really?
Like, yeah.
I had a blast
thought-
with that with 3 people.
I thought that game was underrated.
Yeah, Mario Chase.
No, the Nintendo Land in general. People kind of like poo-pooed it.
I only liked the 2. I liked the chase one, and I liked the one in the dark with the flashlight. And
Yeah.
the
Oh,
ghost.
yeah, you did.
That was the other
I
one.
like the Zelda and the Metroid ones. I enjoyed those. They weren't deep, but they were fun.
This week we only played the multiplayer competitive one. So we
Okay.
played the Animal Crossing one, where the guys with the fork and knife and have to chase. That one's okay. That's the weakest, I think, of the competitive ones. But the Luigi's Ghost one, that was fun. But the Mario Chase one was a blast. We ended up playing between those 3 games probably for a good, maybe hour and a half or so. It was tons. It was the first time I ever played more than 2 players. So
It's a whole different game.
yeah, it really is. And like I almost think like the Mario Chase game, like that was so good where they could have expanded on that greatly. Like put. I don't know about DLC, but like that could have been its own game, I think, and it could have sold
on the
for
eShop for like $20.
Yeah, I really do. It's
They still
that
can
fun.
do that. Maybe they just were testing the waters and.
It's sort of like when Wii Sports first came around. I thought like Wii Golf was like a fantastic game. So much so that I thought they could have done a Wii Golf game itself.
That always bugged me about how it was like limited holes and
9
like
holes, yeah,
limited
mini games.
Yeah, it was just like I always thought that too when I played Wii Sports for the first time. I'm like, this is cool. They should have made it.
They should have done an expansion Wii Golf with like 82 holes or something.
Yeah.
80
Or
81.
multiple courses or
Why
something.
wasn't there like a Mario Golf spin-off in the vein of Wii Sports?
There might have been.
Question.
Mario
What's
There's a
Golf
lot of Wii games.
2014 launch.
Yeah. But and then I also got to play. One of our players dropped, so we only had 4, but we played 4-player Rayman Legends as well.
Okay.
That was awesome. That was.
I heard it was playing really good with the tablet on that game.
Yeah,
Mixing with
the
controllers.
2-player, I guess asymmetric gameplay, is that what they call it?
Where you can take turns but it's still like together.
No, where you have to like collaborate to get through the puzzles.
It's like how Mario was, where you had to flip like pedestals for each other for the other guy to jump and
but like it puts Mario to shame, really. Like that is the new standard for, I guess,
Platforming?
2-player platforming with cooperative gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun, actually. It was chaotic. And there are so many modes to that game. It has most of the levels from Rayman Origins are actually in Rayman Legends, so you can play the old levels.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have all sorts of like mini games. Like we were playing, there's like a built-in soccer game. You can play like 2-on-2 soccer with the characters.
Mm-hmm.
It's like crazy fun.
Huh. That's cool.
And then, and one of the guys was playing Rayman one player afterwards, and it's like awful. It's not really that good. Like, it's made for a 2-player game, and I really don't know how. Like, I think I understand after playing it on the Wii. This was on the Wii U. After playing on the Wii U, I think I understand why in most of the reviews they say like this might be one of the few exceptions out there, probably the only exception where it's probably better on Wii U than other consoles.
Well, it was originally designed just for Wii U.
Yeah. You
And
can tell,
Yeah,
totally.
and they decided to port it when they realized it wasn't going to sell very well just because of the small install base of the Wii. Of the Wii U.
The only thing I think it wouldn't be good for is if you're playing 2 players
Mhm.
and like 2 brothers or something and they hate each other. The game
Just
is
keep
not,
fighting.
Can't
Like most
cooperate.
brothers.
Yeah, it'll be like, all right, yeah, you gotta move the light. It's like very, it's like strategy. You gotta work together,
Mhm.
and you can easily screw your partner over. So,
Yeah.
but it's
Work
fun.
on. I didn't have as nearly of an exciting week. I had a return of last week. I actually beat Point Du Hoc
Nice.
on Veteran,
Nice.
and now I'm stuck in a new
fun
part.
mission.
I'm a little further. I've been really tearing.
Yeah.
Got a little further in Puppeteer, but I spent a majority of my week playing Killzone Mercenaries, so that's where my time went.
You still liking Killzone Mercenaries?
It's awesome.
I've heard good things about it.
It's
so.
awesome. It really is.
Pick out one negative for it. Go.
Killzone?
Yeah.
The lighting.
I melee a lot. There's only like 10 animations for melee when you're killing somebody. So I guess once you've meleeed 70 or 80 times and you're seeing the same 10 over and over and over, that gets a little
Better than one animation, though.
Oh, there's a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton.
Call of Duty, one.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's like full on animations for when you melee
Yeah, I
somebody.
figured, yeah.
You like spin around, punch him once, and like stab him in the left side of the head, or there's actually a groin knifing,
That's
and then the guy bends down, you pull out and jab him in the side of the head. There's a neck one. They're cool. There's 10 of them.
Groin knifing, pull out,
That is
jab
not
in
cool.
the side of the head.
Yeah.
Not
There's
cool.
so, but again, as cool as the 10 are, when you knife as much as I do, it starts getting old.
I bet you use Commando, too.
No.
You just like groin knifing.
I just like
That's the new word.
You just crouching the whole time. Hey! Hey!
Last year was all about throat slitting. This year is groin knifing.
groin knifings.
Yep.
Knife them groins.
Go on, what did you play?
So I did not get a chance to play a lot of games, but I did buckle down and play some more Ouya. Throw up another list of games that I tried on my site, impoverishedgeek.com.
Good plug. Good plug.
Go plug, Brian. Good job. It was mostly
In the
a bunch-
video description below.
I was gonna say right there.
I didn't do any of them last
I know
week.
you did, and I
No,
looked.
on purpose. I was like, fuck
It
that
was
noise.
mostly a disappointment this time around. There are a lot of games. where
As
it's like-
opposed to the first time when you were blown away by the Wii's
Well, I
expensive
wasn't blown away.
catalog.
This controller feels amazing. The triggers!
Yeah. Well, no, I finally
Check out the lag.
I bit the bullet and I got myself a PS3 controller for it.
Oh, did you?
I did. I got
Does
a
it work better?
I got a 6-axis. And it does work better.
6 asses.
Six asses.
Yeah. Since it doesn't do force feedback, you can get the 6-axis. Damn it. Save yourself a little
She
bit of money.
fail.
You can save yourself a little bit of money and get the 6-axis. But there
Or
are games
buy
that don't
6
support it.
axes, which is probably a lot more
Yeah.
expensive.
Well, it depends on which axis you're buying.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty cheap.
Just,
Jason, cheap
but
asses,
the flip side is
now on
that
eBay.
some games only support the Ouya controller, so even if you have it, there's some games where you still have to use it, and
Yeah,
it kind of
okay.
kills it. There was one game that really stuck out to me, and I was really kind of sad. I wanted it to be better. It was called Freedom Fall, and it's this game where you play this guy you're like a prisoner in like a medieval tower, and they open the door to let you out, but you have to like go down through the tower, and the whole way out is like a death trap. So it's just like spikes everywhere, and
So
like,
you're free falling and you just
well, you're
zigzagging?
you're not necessarily free falling, but you're like landing platform to platform to platform, and there's obstacles along the way. And along the way, there's always like notes from the princess who designed the maze to kill you, and they're really funny. And she's just like, "Oh yeah, my dad lets me do this. He says you did something really bad, and this is where so and so died. And my mom's a real—she doesn't say bitch, but she says I hate my mom a lot. She talks about how she doesn't like all the knights who slay the dragons. She tried to slay a dragon once, but they became friends instead. She has all these little goofy notes along the way. It's really charming and funny, but the game controls terribly.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
not
it's gonna
fun.
kill
It's been plaguing the Ouya.
Yeah. So and even with the 360 controller, it's not fun.
Tony has an offer to get one for free.
Yeah, I still can't recommend it.
No.
There's Cine Mora was ported to it, which is a not bad side-scrolling shooter. And there's some good visual novels if you just want like a quick story. You want to play, and they're all free that I've played. So like for a half-hour story, that's not bad. But so far, man, I mean, considering you have to buy an Xbox controller or not an Xbox, sorry, a PS3 controller or a good USB controller to play it, I still can't recommend it.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Maybe next
Oh
year's
yeah,
model.
too.
Maybe. Well,
That's the thing. I can see this being pretty cool, but they're gonna have to.
if they cut,
They're gonna need the financing to support the Ouya 2 and 3.
well, that's the thing. They gave me free money. I was one of the backers on Kickstarter. They sent me $13.37 to do with whatever I want.
Oh boy!
Well, it's like 2 games.
Yeah.
I bought.
Plus, it's $13.37.
Yeah.
So
It's
Oh,
leaks.
Brian's
It's a
leak.
joke. The only game I purchased for it, I bought before I got the money. I got Cannibal, and I bought Nightmare Tower, and I bought Cine Mora. That's it. That's all I've bought for it. And you can download everything for free, and nothing that I've downloaded on it has been good enough for me to say I'm going to spend the money on this. I would have bought Freedom Fall if the controls didn't suck. And other than that, all the other games are just like you can see the potential. Oh yeah, there's a game Polarity that's not bad. It's kind of like Portal meets Tron. But the controls are like you can't adjust the sensitivity of the stick. It's oversensitive. It's like you press left or right and you just spin
I
too
hate
quickly left or right.
oversensitive sticks.
So
I like when they're oversensitive.
Yeah.
It feels better.
That sensation.
too quickly.
A rush.
It's over too quickly.
No, sometimes.
Yeah. And so I would have paid for that one if it was better. But that's about it. you
Okay.
guys went with oversensitive sticks. That's all I'm saying.
Dirty, sexy, news.
Sexy news.
News!
Grand Theft Auto!
GTA.
You didn't talk about it, Mark.
What about
He
it?
did talk
He
about
said
it.
I played
did.
GTA.
But you didn't talk about
I
it.
said I liked
Yes,
it.
he did.
It's good, Tony.
It's good.
It's good, Tony.
Great. We've got our first news story, which former Nintendo president Hiroshi Yamauchi died at 85 this week. He joined the company in 1949 and was its president until 2002. And I know he was like board of directors till like 2005. So he was also the owner of the Seattle Mariners and never saw a single game.
Well, there's a story.
He also
that,
was
sorry.
the president of Nintendo and didn't play video games.
Yeah.
No. The story is that Seattle actually asked Nintendo to buy the Mariners in order to look good.
They're based in Seattle, Nintendo of
Right,
America.
and it was kind of like everybody hates. There's this whole thing where like the Mariners, Seattle's going to lose the Mariners. They couldn't afford to keep them, and it was supposed to be like a PR move. That's the only reason he did it. It's not that he had an interest.
They
in
got
it.
Ichiro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember there was like I remember the president George Bush, 43. He owned the Rangers,
Right.
and there was like a conflict over this. Like I think I read the story the other day about how he was upset with at the time that
Oh, the Nintendo bought it.
No, that the Nintendo owner never saw the games, or they they didn't care about the brand. Yeah, I read this. The guy dies, so of course they bring up President Bush.
Yeah.
It's totally relevant, yeah.
But
I'm sure.
I can see the thought process.
I'm sure the things that President Bush owns that he doesn't know anything about because he has someone else doing many of his investments for him.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he would find that to be surprising, but
It's
okay.
a sad story, though. I mean, he a lot of the old not many of the old video game people have died. It's like weird.
No,
thing
but
to say.
he's the oldest because
Like the Atari guy.
Yeah.
It's him and Robert Bushnell. Those two.
yeah, Nolan Bushnell.
No,
No, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Fuck, Bushnell. I had that.
But
part right.
but he's way younger. I mean, Yamauchi ran Nintendo before Nintendo did video games. It was a card company and
No, that's what I was getting at. I was going to say those two are the
Yeah.
two that brought video gaming to popularity.
I'm sorry, Love Hotel.
a lot of people they credit him for saving the industry really with Nintendo.
He
But
did.
a lot of people also credit him for Nintendo's decline in the late 90s till
Yes.
now.
Well-
in terms of third parties.
He was the one who pushed the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
No,
Yes,
that's
no.
incorrect.
No, he didn't create it,
He
but he
fought.
pushed it.
See, then the guy who pushed it, I can't remember his name. This guy is the dude who fired him.
No. He
Because the
wanted
Virtual
3D.
Boy bombed.
He fired him because the Virtual Boy bombed, but he was the one who pushed 3D. Yamauchi, like, there was some story about that. The whole reason they did the 3DS is because Yamauchi always wanted a 3D Nintendo console, and the Virtual Boy failed. There's a whole story about that. It was Gunpei Yokoi who built it and got fired when it failed.
That's a
also
good
the creator of Metroid. So kind of a guy I like.
God
Who
bless
died.
you.
He was hit by a car. What was that?
You
Oh my
sneezed.
goodness.
Oh yeah. He died. He's also the creator of the Wonder Swan.
What?
The Wonder Swan. It's a
It's a
Japanese
it's a
console.
system from
yeah.
back.
He's considered like one of the Yamaguchi is
Yeah.
like he pushed away third parties a lot.
He did.
because-
He said some things. He made fun of JRPG fans. So there's a bunch of kids who like sat in their rooms all day.
I
or
love
something
this
like that.
dude. He spoke his mind, dude.
He did speak his mind.
And a lot of people, a lot of people, like
Yeah.
a lot of the younger generation doesn't know because they grew up like maybe
Phil
the
Fish.
maybe the PS2 was your first console. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you adapted to the PS3 and the Xbox 360. You don't understand what Nintendo means to the industry as a whole because like we grew up during when this was all happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Except Mark.
Genesis.
yeah,
It
like
does.
like this dude found Miyamoto. Like everybody's like, oh, it's Miyamoto, it's Miyamoto.
Yeah.
This is the dude who found him and gave him the tools. He was like, here, go ahead. You want to do this? Do it. Let's see how it turns out, and let him run with all these things. That's how you have Mario and Zelda because of this dude okayed it. That's how big and powerful this guy was. He was the fucking man in the 80s and 90s. It was his say because this isn't like a democracy, you know. This was the guy. Like it was his yes or no, and his yes is why we have everything the way we do. It's the reason the NES came over to the States from the Famicom version in Japan. So all this guy.
Nobody wanted to touch
This
that.
guy
That's when it
did.
came
This
here.
guy did everything. He was the guy.
No.
He was the guy who created the Nintendo seal of approval to get rid of all the backlash from terrible ports on the Atari 2600.
Was it him?
That was his idea.
Okay.
This is the guy that limited third parties to only being able to create three games a year.
4 or 5 games a year, something like that. Yeah.
You don't
There
know?
was a-
This is the dude.
That's why you have Ultra
I didn't know that
games.
was him.
Because he wanted the quality to be there. He didn't
Right.
want you just shoving out games every 3 weeks. He's like, this is your limit. As a third party, you're only allowed to do this many a year. This was his institute, his instituted plans.
And that worked wonders in the late
It did.
80s and early 90s.
Yeah, this guy's the fucking man.
Yeah. And now we have too many games.
Now we
We've
have 2
discussed.
games.
Well, you've discussed. I wasn't there for it.
Speaking about a lot of games, GTA 5 this week was able to sell $800 million worth
No.
in the first 24 hours.
Okay.
Now it's $1 billion.
And over 1 billion after 3 days,
Mm-hmm.
and I have not yet to see a updated where it's at right now. But I mean, you'd have to expect probably almost.
Well, to quote Bill
1.3
Gates,
billion or so.
after the first billion, it's all the same hamburger.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The last analyst, which is literally last week, said that it was
Literally?
expected. Yes, I was going to do it, but I was like, yeah, I'll keep going. Was expected to make $1 billion after the first month. They did it in 3 days instead.
Yeah, they smashed Blops, which had the current record of $1 billion in 10 days, I want to say.
Something like that.
Or 7 or 8 or something like that. They did, either way, they destroyed it. They're the new record holder.
Yes. Do you think they will be the all-time best-selling at this point?
For this generation.
Well, not
Easily.
counting Nintendo stuff.
I mean,
No,
if
for
you're
this
counting
generation.
I mean, I'm not down bundle-ins. Bundle-ins, you know.
Well, it's not going to beat like the new Super Mario Brothers.
Did it already make more than $1 billion in sales?
I assume so. It sold like 35 million copies.
Wait, what game are we talking about?
New Super Mario Brothers for the Wii.
You're talking about the original.
Oh.
Case one.
Okay, I was like, what? I'm like, did every Wii U owner buy 10 copies?
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah. I knew you were talking about the Wii U version. I'm like, I'm trying to think.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, what?
Oh no.
Okay, yeah. No, I think it'll...
Yeah, the biggest multi-platform game. I think so. It's on pace for it. This
Yeah.
wasn't before this. What was it? Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Well, what's $1 billion divided by 60? How many copies is that?
Let's do the math.
So, like, because I'm kind of curious on what they've accomplished, and I'm sure the numbers will come out in a week or two that this is way higher than
way
that.
higher than this.
It's sold like 15 million then. There's no
In
way.
3 days? That's fucking nuts, dude.
Well, let's see. If it was
And holiday this year.
Here's my thing. Here's my thing because I've worked some midnights and I've been involved in a lot before I even worked for the company. At my particular GameStop, there was a lot of people there, but I've seen way bigger launches.
yeah, there's like 90 people there, right?
Yeah, I've seen way
About
bigger
16
midnights.
16 million copies.
We had about
16 million.6 repeating copies.
So almost 16 and 2/3.
at least-
Closer to 17 million.
Yeah.
we're
in
at
3
least
days.
in probably the 18
That's
to
nuts.
19 million
That's
range
fucking
then, I
nuts.
guess.
Accurate?
Well, they haven't updated this since 3 days. So you're talking about the 20th. So that's the last
so they
time
could
this
have
was
hit.
updated.
They could have hit 17 billion. By
Well,
now.
apparently this game costed
Maybe.
two.
Or
It
17
cost
million,
200 million to make, and they made that like a month before, just off pre-orders.
Yeah.
Like before the game even launched, a full month before they were paid.
That's good.
They only had to sell one more copy to turn a profit.
I wish.
Wow.
A
I liked
month
GTA.
before launch.
Hold on.
Grand Theft Auto is so
Something
big.
is not making sense here. They have to have another source of income other than game sales. Are they making money from like in-game advertising or something? Like,
Rockstar? No, I don't think they have any real world ads that
No,
I've seen.
all the cars are fake. They're ripoffs.
Yeah, they're all
Like they'll have clearly like a Lamborghini, and then they'll call it the Cheetah because they don't want to pay Lamborghini for the whatever.
Yeah.
For the license, yeah.
like
The
Taco
only stuff
Bell
that they
is, like,
pay
Taco
out to
Bell
get is
or-
music. That's
but
it.
But Rockstar and 2K, aren't they?
yeah, 2K owns Rockstar.
2K owns Rockstar. Yeah.
But 17 million copies is
in 3 days.
crazy. Like okay, I'll take the word for it. That's crazy.
What?
Grand
17
Theft Auto
million
sold
copies
17 million copies.
3
Yeah,
days.
They made 800 million in the first, their
a
first
billion.
day.
It's
No,
past
in
a
the
billion.
first, but in the first day, it made 800
Yeah.
million. So yeah, no, that's yeah.
It didn't seem that big.
But
Like,
see, here's
I-
the. But
Broke
That's
the
what I
record.
was saying. Like I've been to Modern Warfare 2's launch, Modern Warfare 3's, Blops 2. They were all bigger.
and that's
Yeah.
actual like.
But with Call of Duty, people, I know they get some of those legacy sales. But
Yeah.
but I really think like 97% of COD's total sales for the year come within that first week because there's this need to get the hot
After holiday,
like to
hopefully.
get the jump because every day now you're 364 days away from the next one and 363 and then 362. People don't. It does get sales, but it's so big during the first week. Where I think Rockstar,
You're wrong.
they're gonna keep selling.
You're wrong on that one. That sells a crap load in November or late November.
Well, that's what I was
and all
saying,
of
like-
December. And then the legacy sales are important.
I don't know, dude.
Black
Like,
Ops
Well,
2,
you're
if
talking
you-
about for
like,
like
in
Black
Amer-
Friday.
maybe not the first week, but really early.
The first 2 months, I'd say.
When you annualize a game like Call of Duty, you're not gonna have. It's not an event anymore like it is for Grand Theft Auto.
It's a holiday.
Exactly. I mean, literally,
But-
the game is huge.
When you look at like weekly top sales charts, Black Ops 2 is in there, has been in there like every single week.
It's true.
In January, February, March, April, May. Sure, it
I
might
just-
only be
see-
25,000 here, 25. but
I'm
that's-
just going based off what I see. Like, I sell like maybe a copy a week, but then you look at that first week when I'm selling 1,000 copies.
Mm-hmm.
The one copy a week the rest of the year just doesn't seem like it equate to what we did that launch week.
Yeah. Well, the numbers, it has legacy sales. More than any game.
Yeah.
Really, that's not Nintendo related.
Okay.
Remind me.
More news.
More
Crazy,
news.
man.
Grand Theft Auto.
All right, Tony.
That's a lot of games
This is a new story for you, and you're gonna pee your pants, I think. Uncharted 4 was listed on GameStop's PlayStation 4 game list on their website.
Germany.
It was taken down immediately,
Germany.
but it was there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shit my pants. I saw this coming from a mile away. Why the fuck wouldn't they?
Smells like smoke and
Nathan Drake is PS3's poster boy. Why the fuck wouldn't they capitalize on it? It's like their third highest selling franchise behind God of War and Gran Turismo.
I was hoping for him to be like,
I like Uncharted
It'll-
more than I like God of War.
It only makes
do too.
sense. Well, I'm just saying, like
no, it's just our personal opinion. Yeah.
yeah. I think that it makes sense. All I said was I was okay if they ended it after 3. I was content with the way that they wrapped the story up because I don't want this to turn into something that they're just pumping out the same thing over and over and over again. I'm okay
Yeah, I
with
can
it.
understand.
I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there day one buying this shit. I'll play the fuck out of it. But I was okay if they stopped after 3. I really am.
All right. Sony also said this week it's going to be losing probably about 100 to. There's a few various reports between about $60 to $100 of each PlayStation 4 sale. Basically, once you buy a 1-year subscription to PlayStation Plus and one launch title, Sony has already made their money back.
They learned a lesson from Nintendo. Nintendo was doing that with the Wii U.
$5.99 US.
It's just a slight loss, but it was made up with one piece of hardware. Or
in
software, excuse me.
Nintendo, I believe that was not even the initial plan, but that only became that way because of the yen, like sucking.
Yen to dollar?
Yeah, some science.
Math. Smart things.
So this is as opposed to the PS3, which lost close to $200 for every console sale.
There, you had to sell 4 pieces of software to make up
And they
for it.
had no subscription fee at the time, which is really the future of the industry.
Yeah.
So props to Sony.
Good for them.
You know, it makes me think. What if instead of taking a $50 loss or $60 loss, if they took a $200 loss this time around, and put this console out for launch of $250?
See, I'm not even kidding.
They'd sell a lot of consoles, but they wouldn't get the return that they want because there'd be a lot of people who see it as I've got it and they don't buy any games for it. That's the problem.
And then that thing's just a $150 loss now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Is that there are a lot of people who would buy it because the price is low and then not do anything, and they want people who are going to play it to buy it.
What I'm surprised with, and I don't know if Xbox is going to exercise this in the future, but what I was looking at, like they started this last year with the subsidized pricing, where you can pick up a 360 for $100 as long as you locked in for 2 years of Xbox Live at a greater price point for Xbox Live because they
that's
knew
like
the edge on the
everyone's gonna do
ropes,
that, surprisingly.
and if you stop paying your
Xbox stopped working.
they
Would they repo it? Would they
I don't
send someone
know.
to your
I don't
house?
know.
and take
They
it?
technically can, yeah.
Yeah, I know they can, but did they actually do it?
Microsoft.
I doubt it. But the whole point is, I thought that was a test bed for what they were going to do with the Xbox One, where they'd have that $500 outright price that you can pay right now, or you can subsidize it by agreeing to a 3 or 4 year long term with Xbox Live and scoop this thing up for $200 or $300. And I thought that was going to be a big dagger in Sony.
Yeah.
If they did something like that, because a lot of people like myself, after I did the math, I know I'm going to get the Xbox One. I know I'm going to have Xbox Live every 3 years, or for at least 3 years. Why not subsidize the pricing?
But wouldn't you? I think the issue is like that works when it's lower cost. But I think that, and it works when people who don't have money want to get it. But
Right. The subsidized Xbox, you actually lose the money in some of those cases. You're actually paying more over a longer period of time.
yeah,
Yeah, it costs
I
the
think
consumer more.
more. Yeah, and I think people are
It's
getting
not
wary of that.
The
Yeah.
it's not the big amount. It's like buying a car. You buy a brand new car. You drop $25,000 right there in cash. You buy it over
Shit, I
5.
do.
Yeah,
We're not all like Jason over here.
Yeah,
Money
you buy
bags.
it over the course of 5 or 6 years, and it's costing you more like $31,000 or $32,000.
I think Xbox might do this still, and I think Sony is actually going to do this, but there's just no need to do it at launch because the amount they have allocated is going to sell, at least for sure, I think in PS3's case, and most likely at least through Christmas, I'd say, for Xbox One. Maybe in January and February, Xbox Ones will be.
You'll start launching these initiatives.
Well, yeah, I think I don't think Xbox One's going to completely sell out in December. I think there'll be some because the high price point is going to throw off consumers. I think the PS4 will sell out, but I think come springtime, they're going to be sitting on shelves.
see, they actually keep my PS4 pre-order on Amazon as well as my GameStop reserve. So I was thinking about canceling my Amazon PS4 pre-order.
thinking
You
you
should
should
do it
get
the other way around. There's no tax on Amazon. You get the system $60
yeah, but
cheaper.
I paid off the GameStop one with trades. That's why.
Yeah, no tax on that either.
No, I pay like $20 tax, but that's it. But like because I pre-ordered it from Amazon not because I was thinking about selling it, but because if my friend had gotten fired from GameStop, I was going to cancel my reserves.
They put out. I think Sony. What did Sony say at their
They
conference?
put out a lot. That's what I heard.
3 million, I
Yeah.
believe, by
I heard there would be quite a few out there.
Christmas.
Yeah, that's what I'm
5
saying.
million by
That's
the
what I was
fiscal
thinking,
year.
just canceling because I was like, I don't want to put it on eBay and then lose money. And if you can't make
I
at
don't
least
think-
$100 over, you're not making money because of the eBay fees.
I think they're both making a lot of consoles. I don't think these things are gonna be.
That's my thought.
I don't think they're gonna be Wii hard to find. Like the Wii was an anomaly. That thing was impossible for many, many months. Where if you got like like Nintendo was really good about this too. This is what Sony's initiative is. As opposed to having the 3 million ready to go and just sending the 3 million to the stores, they're going to send like 1 million or 2, and that last million they're going to make sure every store every week gets another 2 or 3 to keep people coming back and trying to get the consoles. And Wii was really good about that. I remember it was like every Friday you'd have to call Toys R Us and GameStop and be like, hey, did you guys get a Wii in? Hey, did you get a Wii in? Hey, did you get a Wii in? And, they'd be like, yeah, we got 3. They're gone already. And you'd have to keep checking back. It made this, like, insane craze for, like, 8 months. And that's what Sony's doing, too. But I think both companies are producing a lot. I even with the high demand, it may be a few weeks, and they may be sort of difficult to find, but I don't think these things are going to be...
I don't think it's going to hit those high prices that the PS3 and the Xbox did. I don't think so.
A ton of people did that with the Wii U. They thought there was going to be the same craze that the Wii did, and you saw them on Craigslist day one going for $500 or $600. But you could walk into the store and they were readily available on every shelf.
And
those guys got killed because they bought 3-4 consoles thinking the same thing was going to happen with the Wii.
And then in January and February, what had happened, there was so much overstock, really, that the price, you can buy it, secondhand for cheaper than the new price.
Yeah.
And it killed sales in January and February because nobody bought them from the store anymore. One thing I'd say is I don't really think they're really manufacturing that many because they started manufacturing, I assume, probably now.
Well, but manufacturing is so different than it was when the PS3 was made, I think. I mean, like, if you look at, like, the way it's changed for electronics with Foxconn just taking over completely, I think they can get out huge numbers now because they just drive out to, like, a farm in China and grab people in the night and bring them to Foxconn, you know what I mean?
Wait, how do they do it?
Well,
do they just grab people in the night?
I don't know, because they said...
up in Foxconn.
Yeah. I swear, I bet you that happens. I bet you there are people who wake up from a bender and they've got the hairnet on and they're in one of those Foxconn bunks, man.
If they start manufacturing, I assume in September. It has to be this month.
Yeah, I think they've already started for PlayStation.
They've been.
The
they've
first
had
shipment
pictures.
was done already the first week of September.
Okay.
So I'm
They've
saying,
been manufacturing
have a lot.
they've been manufacturing for over
Say
a month.
September 1st for the sake of my argument. By the end of the fiscal year, March 31st, they said they're going to have 5 million out there.
Is that what they said? Only 5 million? I thought they
Yeah, and they're hoping to get 3 by Christmas. I think that's what I heard. So if you think about the math here, September, October, November, December, January, February, 7 months, they're getting 5 million out there. That's not that good. Let's say 6 months.
Because Apple does
about
that
10
with
million
the
a
iPhone.
Well, yeah, that's...
So they
But
buy
it's
up
it's a smaller device, easier to ship. But
they
it's still
buy
a lot
the
of work to
world's
produce.
supply of RAM and every other
They do.
electronic.
Like once a year, they buy the world's supply of memory. Yeah, Apple does that. Oh yeah.
But I mean, you're talking they're manufacturing at a rate of about 10 million consoles a year, which is what the life cycle will probably end up being.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what the PS3 was at. So, I mean, they're not really over manufacturing it. I don't really think they're manufacturing it any faster than they did the PS3.
So you think there's still going to be some demand for it at launch?
I
higher
think-
demand than they can meet.
I think demand won't reach supply until about March or April.
Interesting.
That's what for PS4. I think demand and supply. I think there will be more supply for the Xbox One right after Christmas. After Christmas, a lot of people get money for Christmas. Or younger people, older people will buy it right away. But college kids and high school kids, they might pick it up right after Christmas or the holidays because they have money
Spike
to
up
spend.
January sales.
They have money to spend.
Yeah.
And they'll get all those gift cards.
I think you might need to fight Ace, man.
Puppy kisses.
But I think the
He's moving in on your girl, dude.
I'm trying to explain to the audience supply and demand for the Xbox One.
He knew that was the time to strike.
He's like, quick, he's distracted.
He's in deep conversation. Time to make my move.
I'm good. I think the audience understands.
Yeah.
Supply demand.
He's going back.
Dog abuse.
Elbow drop!
Peanut's gonna be all over our ass.
He's coming at you. He's coming at you.
This is abusive. All right, we're gonna
More news!
The PS4 will be getting a Denver launch in South Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, and Japan now has a February 22nd launch date.
Yeah.
So
I'm shocked it's so soon in Japan. This is the
So
Xbox.
soon?
Xbox.
I was kind of more surprised that all these other countries are getting it in December and Japan's supposed to
They,
wait
they
2
sold
months.
like 12 Xbox 360s in Japan.
Well, this is
Well,
PlayStation.
oh, sorry, you're talking about PlayStation.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about Xbox One.
No, no,
I
no.
apologize.
No, Xbox 360 is like 1.5 million or something, or 2 million in Japan.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, I
guess.
just was
It's
surprised. that
insignificant
Japan
when you're the
was gonna
size
get
of
first.
Microsoft, but that's a lot of. I'd
Well,
love to sell.
How many PlayStation? It's like more than 10 million PlayStation 3s, though, isn't it?
Don't mind him. Keep going.
Hmm?
Show.
Apparently, this is the Ace Cast.
Yeah.
Got any words of
I
advice?
think there's more than that. I think there's about 15 million
PS3s. I mean, it's a huge discrepancy between the two of them in Japan.
Obviously.
Well, it's about 1.5 for the Xbox 360, but that's like 10 times the amount that the Xbox sold. So
Yeah, I mean, it's
So they
step
could do
up,
10
but-
times again. Maybe they'll hit 15 million.
yeah, but
Yeah.
there doesn't seem to be the same amount. Well, it's way too early, obviously, but
Yeah.
there's this growing sentiment that the one Xbox One is not going to outperform the PS4 at all, let alone in Europe and Japan.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
Well, and the Japanese game economy seems to be kind of going down anyway, doesn't it? Isn't that-
No, it's just gravitating more toward.
I mean, the developer side at least.
Handheld.
Is, yeah.
It's handheld in arcades because it's so overpopulated, especially in Tokyo, that everything is just small. Like people make fun of small condos and apartments here. They're
yeah.
really small in
But
Tokyo.
if you want to see some interesting apartments,
So-
the people who build like the moving walls and stuff, it's crazy what they do to make use of the small space.
Yeah, and then I just think there's not as much demand. I think that's why Sony's not as nuts with the motion gaming because they look at their home territory. It just
There's
doesn't
no room.
work.
Yeah.
So the point is a lot, and it's really really expensive to have these really really small apartments in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't have money for systems. So what they do is they pay their rent, and when they want a game, arcades are huge still over there. You know what I mean? That's where you get your gaming out. So it's just. Go
I
ahead.
have numbers. According to VG charts, so inaccurate. Xbox 360. Wow, this is surprising. 1.5 million. Only 9.5 million for the PS3. That's really not as big of a discrepancy as I thought. That's basically
And 8 million.
a 6-to-1 ratio. 6.5. You know, when you think about it, that's
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jace is usually
Get under
over
control.
there.
Yeah.
Get it under control, Tony.
6-to-1 is not really, that bad considering it's not quite a 2-to-1 here in the United States in favor of Xbox, but
Yeah.
I mean that's. Yeah, I thought it was a much bigger range than that. I thought the PS3 had sold more than 9.5.
Yeah.
More news.
More news! We have
GTA.
weird news! This week, it was announced that the PlayStation 4 will play on your Xbox One.
Who called it? This guy.
Right here.
What this means is that the Xbox One has an HDMI pass-through port, is what they're calling it, which technically means you could have half your screen playing an Xbox One game while the other half of your screen being your PlayStation 4 playing whatever you
In
like.
theory, you could have both systems running at once. You could be in the middle of a game of Forza 5. Say Xbox, I don't think it'll understand that it's a PS4 because they probably
No, it won't, no.
So you'll just say
Xbox input or something.
Yeah, input.
Xbox TV.
and switch and Killzone 4 will pop up on your fucking Xbox.
But I think it was it Major Nelson that answered a question about this?
No, it was
Larry.
Larry Herb. No, it wasn't Larry Herb. It was somebody else, I think. But he answered it indirectly.
Well, he answered the question and then criticized the question. Did you hear that? Like he's like theoretically yes, but then he's like
Yeah,
there's
no, I read
latency
it.
issues. Like
Yeah,
there's
you
like
don't
a
want to
lag.
do that. Yeah.
This is good for observing TV, but not for interacting with it. So he went ahead and answered the question, and then questioned why the question was like asked. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, and a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, sweet, blah blah blah," and it's like, I don't know how well that would work with the PS4's always online capability, or not always online, but when you are connected, it'll the Xbox One and the PS4 are very similar in that manner, where they will auto update and auto download and do all that crap for you. Where if it's running through the Xbox One, if you're gonna, I don't know, lose some of the appeal of doing that.
I don't know why you don't do that.
I think it's a great idea. Like I was saying a while back, if you want to hook up your 360.
I think that's going to be the
But
best.
you can't play games. That's
Yeah, there's too
basically
much latency,
what
is what
this
he's saying.
answer. What
No,
this,
well, it could not be. I mean, if you look at like
if it's
Yeah.
a quarter second delay, it's unplayable. It
Yeah.
really is. I mean,
It'll
Yeah.
be fine. Watch.
I don't.
Yeah.
I trust Microsoft more than you, Jason.
I don't look at all the shit they've gone back on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because because
Windows
that's the issue.
8.1.
So they'll go back and say you
Yeah.
can't play.
Yeah,
through it.
exactly. I'm like, well, you know,
Yeah,
we turn that
yeah.
feature off.
The only reason you'd want to do that is if you had one
Who knew it was
HDMI
an
port.
on-off switch?
If you had one HDMI port on your TV, that's a workaround, but it's not a good workaround. You'd be better off buying an HDMI switch box for $15.
No, $3. I just bought one.
Oh, really?
Suck
Yeah.
on that.
Mine's nice.
What was that from the fest? Where were you at this morning? Flea market. There you go.
Actually, no, I bought it from.
We're about to call it a fest.
from Hong Kong.
Yeah, I was like,
Is
F,
the
isn't it
flea
F?
market a party? Are there streamers and
Oh, yeah.
balloons and?
yes.
Always
Oh,
a
yeah.
party.
It's a party. It's a fest.
It starts at 6 a.m. The sun hasn't even risen yet.
And people are still they're dancing already.
Yeah.
They're dancing in the
It's
Rosemont
so-
parking
it's so-
lot streets.
You have to pay $3 to get in before 6 a.m. At 6 a.m. it becomes $2.
It's the after party.
So you have to pay a premium to get in early.
They're
That's why Moss
microtransactioning.
doesn't show up till 6:05.
They're microtransactioning.
payment.
Fucking
I don't want
flea
there to be any
markets.
confusion. I don't want to pay the extra $1.
That extra
I will
dollar is
wait
something
right
I
here
could buy.
and
There's
watch.
some people at the flea market. I've seen vendors. They're like everything on this table is $3, and they'll publicly announce buy it now because after 10 a.m. everything on this table is $2. And it creates this huge dilemma in your head. Do I buy it now or do I wait? Do I just stand here at 9:59?
Because
What do I do?
Because someone else could beat you to it.
He's got two singles
Yeah.
in one hand and one
Can
in
you
the other.
hide this
He's
for
like,
me?
Yeah.
Throw a sheet over this.
So cool.
Last news story of the day, we got Valve is planning on announcing its 2014 plans this Monday.
So
This
by,
was close to being the topic of the week.
by the time that this podcast is out, it'll be announced.
It'll be announced, and we'll get to it next week. But they put a
20
teaser
miles.
up on the Portal and Half-Life Studios page. The quote they have on there is, "Last year we shipped a software feature called Big Picture, a user interface tailored for big televisions and gamepad. This year we've been working on even more ways to connect the dots for customers who want to stream. We want to steam in the living room, not stream. Sorry. So something else that will be connecting to all your devices is what it sounds like.
I'm hoping this is cool because the only thing that keeps me back from embracing the PC community is the whole mouse and keyboard. It really is. Like if I love the Steam sales, I love the connectivity, I love
that
the way
most every game
the
uses a
store is set
controller.
up.
Don't most. Do you play?
Not-
play-
not the ones-
I do a little bit of PC gaming here. The only problem I have with PC gaming is nothing works as well as everybody claims it to.
Well, is every game that's a
Suck on that, Mark.
Yeah!
is every game that's a multi-platform game that comes to Steam? Almost every single one of them has controller support.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's not the ones I'm looking for.
Sometimes
Like,
they do,
I'm-
but sometimes they
RTSs
don't
and-
work right. Sometimes it's weird.
That's true.
even-
Darksiders 2 it didn't have the controls were
Even
Yeah,
some
stuff.
shooters that I
So,
really
yeah.
like, I own that I can't stand playing because I don't want to WASD, WASD, right?
No, I always say WASD.
WASD.
It's probably just
I don't want
WASD,
WASD. I
but
don't want
I
WASD.
like saying WASD.
I don't like the WASD. I don't like it. Like Red Orchestra 2, that looks like one of the coolest WW2 shooters ever. Not available on consoles. Bought it, own it. Don't want to play it because I fucking hate the WASD. Don't want to do the
Good
WASD.
game,
thing.
but-
I actually
yeah.
have a software on my computer that lets you intercept the signal.
I
from
have
the
it
USB,
too,
and you
but
can
there's
actually program the
more
stuff.
there's
But it's a
more
hassle.
commands than
You
there
have to do
are
multiple
buttons.
commands to one button.
And a lot of the time it
which
doesn't.
is frustrating.
Joysticks get confused
Yeah.
because it sometimes it won't see that you're doing like the diagonal. So literally you're getting a joystick that only does 4 directions.
Right. Yeah. So it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are games like I think I went on a rant once about Borderlands 2 for Mac where they didn't they didn't use the right driver for the controller. I'm like, really? Like everybody else in the world uses this third-party driver, but you're gonna make your own. Come on. So stuff like that. There's a game that I picked up that I really want to play. You've probably heard of it, Moss, called It'll Do.
No.
Really?
It'll Do.
You should look into It'll Do. ITTLEDEW.
Okay.
It's a Zelda-like. The kind of
Oh, I've
mouse
probably seen it
interventions. And it supports the controller partially. The
I'm gonna look this
D-pad
up.
and the arrow and the stick doesn't work, but the buttons work.
It's a lot more headache.
Yeah.
In summary, it's a lot more headache than it's worth. I've tried this. Even when Big Picture mode came, I'm like, oh, this is it. Sweet. I can finally utilize this
I launched it once.
awesome
Yeah.
PC I
I never
got
use it.
on
Yeah.
my TV with my 360 controller laying back on my bed. Like I've always wanted to play the fucking computer. Like he's saying, half the shit doesn't work right. Everything's still confusing. There's update this driver, remap this, do this like this, blah blah blah.
And even fairly recent games like Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas don't work on Windows 7 or Windows 8.
I mean, has it games that have come out in 2013?
You have to hack it to make it work.
Would you say overall
I'm
though
trying to
games
remember
that
when I played Fallout then.
overall games that have come out like this year in 2000
A lot
work
better with controller
significantly
support.
better.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting better.
on
They
Steam
are.
Oh, yeah.
And
than
Steam
2 years ago.
If Steam goes
Like tenfold.
If Steam goes with a set hardware reference for this, it will be easy to program for, like a console, which makes these things less of an issue.
Maybe this is not a comparable thing, but I'm almost comparing Steam now to what like PlayStation Network was like 5 years ago, where the comparison being is it was sort of like
A mess, and they'll figure it out. They'll streamline it.
and then by the time it gets to the point, it's like if it was comparable, and you can do the big TV mode.
And you got the Steam sales, which is the biggest push of Steam.
Well, but I think they're going to go Linux for this. That's the big question. Because if you notice that Valve recently picked up a lot of Linux stuff, they started porting all their stuff to Linux. They're starting to really push the Linux thing. I mean, they did the Mac support first, but the Mac support had a bigger audience than Linux did. But Linux, because it's open, they could make their own Linux hardware. I think that's the expectations. They're making their own hardware. So
well, you don't want to waste $100
Well, you don't
licensing
think so?
Windows.
This is not going to run on like Steam on.
well, Steam runs on Linux now, and they're talking about making their own boxes. And it seems more likely to me that they'll make their own Linux box than a Windows box.
Yep.
Okay, but you'll still be able to run that if you have a standard desktop that runs
Correct.
Windows.
Well, right, yeah. I mean, I don't think they're going to stop support for Windows on Steam. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah,
There's-
they can't.
At
that'd
least
be
not the
suicide.
foreseeable future. But I think that the Steam box will all be Linux based.
Okay.
Probably.
That seems they've been working on OpenGL drivers and making sure everything they ported Left 4 Dead and Portal and all that stuff to Linux, so they know how it works. And it's an open enough platform that they don't have to pay a royalty or make a deal with anybody.
Right.
They can do it all themselves. I think that's what they're going to try to do.
Probably. The interesting thing is we have 3 major announcements. We have a Monday, a Tuesday, or a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday.
And they could do a Windows box too that just costs more for all. What do I know?
Maybe it's $100 more because you have to
Right.
license Windows.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you really even need a box? Like, can't you just?
Well, you want a set level of performance if you're doing a set-top device, and that's the only way to guarantee it is to have a box because
I don't. That's only a fraction of what I think they're.
yeah.
What I think their potential. But I don't know. Maybe I just think that Steam, done right in 3-4 years, could be
They
a
could-
serious threat.
They
to
could be a huge threat
because
depending on how they work it out. Yes.
Yeah.
It really could be. I mean, to me, like, I know this would never work out, but the simplest thing would be a Steam application. If they, like, I know they're becoming friendlier and friendlier with Sony over the years, would just be a Steam application, but it would be too much of a conflict of interest because PlayStation Network would charge $20 for this game, and Steam would have it on sale for $2.
$2.49.
I don't think that. I think.
Well, I think they'll continue with the buy it on PlayStation, also play it on Steam like they did with
Portal and
Portal
shit
too.
like that. Yeah.
I think they view. Like, I think if you're Sony, Steam is more of a threat to your business than like Nintendo is. Like,
Yes.
But that's why I think
be fair-
you take the opportunity to embrace them because this would
Why would Steam do that though? I don't think.
I'm saying they should have did this because before Steam put
I
all
don't
this
think they
development dollars in to developing this console, Sony's taking all of the risk. It's an application now. Steam doesn't have to invest anything. They're just putting their games on the PlayStation Network. And then this makes Steam never want to build a console.
Yeah.
Because they're just making money off something that's already established. They just have to update something on the server end to make it run on the... And PS4 or PS3 is taking all of the risk on selling the hardware. It's interchangeable with Xbox as well.
I think they want to.
Now it's too late.
I don't think it is too late. Like, I think in a few years, you know how, like this generation, if you were a third party, you needed to have your game on 360 and PS3. I think it's going to get to this point in a few years where if you want your game to be successful, it's going to need to be on multi-platform, Xbox One, PS4, and Steam. Like it has to be. I think it's going to be a mandatory thing.
And you're already seeing the tools for that. The Unity tools port to everything. So you can program more or less once and port everywhere. You have to do some cleanup, but like, it's. I mean, if you look at a lot of the indie games that come out now for the PC, they're on everything. They're on Windows, Mac, and Linux because they have the tools to do that now with minimal effort. And Unity works on PS4, Xbox One, I believe, as far as I know. They could do it.
Okay.
There you go. Sexy news. Daniel Letterman.
Now that's just rude.
Daniel Letterman.
Hit me twice.
I tried to catch it.
Oh, that's Should we mention that? Should we mention Brian?
my failure as a man.
Oh, we have a special treat coming up. I don't know if it'll be before or after this video with Brian taking a test.
It's wherever the hell I feel like.
Should we
putting
talk
it.
about what it is at least?
No.
No,
Give them hype.
No.
That's
It
it.
would-
It's a
let's
little
just
sneak
It's me
say
failing. So
there's a
it'll be
lot of
funny.
failure involved.
Yeah.
It's almost as epic as when I failed Tony's Uncharted challenge.
Yep.
Yes.
Well then,
Is it time?
no.
Oh.
Right about. Yeah.
All right. Oh God. Is it time for?
It's covering fucking the Blue Bomber's ears.
We're gonna start it off with a shout out to Brendan Joyce.
Oh, I have a shout out as well.
You don't count.
No, it's a good one.
Brendan Joyce just got married.
Oh,
You got a shout out? Go for it.
yes. So this is kind of random. I was on Twitch TV today, and not streaming, but watching a random player's Wind Waker HD stream because they were trying to get this one hidden treasure trove that nobody seems to be able to find. And there's like 12 people viewing this channel, and I start talking to the guy streaming, and Metro Android is in the chat.
Wait. What was this for?
Zelda HD.
Random YouTube Twitcher is twitching is streaming Wind Waker HD, trying to find this one treasure chart that nobody seems to be able to find. There was only like 10 or 15 people watching. I started typing in the chat room, and Metroid Android is there.
Nice.
It was ridiculous.
Was he surprised to see you?
I started talking. He's like, "Oh, hey."
I don't get to play that until next week, unfortunately.
It was just random. So, and I think I replied like, Metroid, you're everywhere.
Metroid, he is everywhere.
Yeah.
I wish Metroid was
Speaking
everywhere, man.
of streams and
Oh,
walkthroughs
I thought
and
you said he
whatnot,
asked the question.
go for it again. You're the only one that apparently knows how to pronounce his name
Oh,
properly.
Lykios.
Lykios. He had a question for you, Mas. Said,
That's creepy. He knew he'd be on the show.
he said,
I'm outside right now. You want to hang out?
what and when can we expect your next Zelda Dungeon walkthrough video?
Oh, we are working on something, and it will be
Stuff
out.
and things.
It's still in the stuff and things stage, not for a while, unfortunately. A few months. We like to take. I think Miyamoto once had a quote that said like a rushed game is a bad game, but a delayed game is a good game. It's some
Forever?
shit like that.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So like Wind Waker just came out. Everyone was like, "Why don't you have a Wind Waker HD walkthrough out for a video guide?" I'm like, dude, if you want a video guide for Wind Waker HD, just go to YouTube and you'll find 75,000 of them because everybody does playthroughs of games right when they come out.
You want to differentiate.
You want quality.
There's no point in doing that.
Right.
I did that with Skyward Sword, and I realized that this was like the dumbest thing. Like, put all this work to get the thing out like at launch, and then it's just one of many. It's not the quality's not there.
And that's why I'm doing the Ouya write-ups, because no one else is doing anything about Ouya.
Yeah, no, you have to
Oh
differentiate.
no!
So when we put out our Wind Waker HD walkthrough, it will be by far the best one available. And
where
I
will
won't be doing that.
And when it goes up, where can they find that?
And,
Yeah, plug. Cheap plug.
At
Yeah, go for it.
youtube.com / the Zelda Dungeon. There's a the in there. Or zeldadungeon.net. Or facebook.com / Zelda Dungeon.
We're also on Twitter.
What's your Twitter?
We're also on Google Plus.
Are you really?
And no
It's just growing.
And no disrespect to Mas, that will not be linked in the bottom because I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah.
Um,
All you Google Plus members.
All 5 of you who are Vita users.
Who frequently use it.
Nick Kuntz
What's up, Nick?
said, do you feel the need to get to a store early just to be the first person to get a new game when it releases?
I get there close to open usually if it's like a.
Because you're working.
Oh, I used to, yeah. But no, I mean, if because a perfect example would have been last week's NHL and Kingdom Hearts because like it didn't have a midnight. So yeah, I was there at 10:05 probably.
Get my shit! I need my crack!
As for me, I'm going to answer this in my former self. As a current video game retailer employee, I don't. I'm usually there,
Working.
so I just grab it at the end of my shift. But before that, this is the one thing that gives the brick and mortar hope. Is like the midnight. I always liked being part of it. Sure, you can easily walk in at 12:10 when everybody's already cleared out because they're still open till 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning to hand these games out. Or you can easily pop in, like Mark said, at 10:03 the next day. There'll be 2 people there, and you can just grab your game if you're content waiting that extra 10 hours.
Content with sleep.
The whole point, half the time I went to midnights, I'd go home, play for 20 minutes, and go to bed. And the next day was when I played.
It's like nice to wake up with it there already.
Cuddling.
It's
Cuddle it.
the whole thing. The whole draw is the environment. It's being around another 100 or 150 people that are interested in the same game you are. You go there, you talk. It's the wait. It's the anticipation. It's that last hour. Like, oh, how long we got? Oh, 45 more minutes. Oh, 15 more minutes. Yes, we're getting closer. You're sitting there talking, meeting new people about screwing around with video games. It's an experience. It's a whole event. So I loved it. Would I get there at 6 o'clock for midnight? Hell no. I'd get there like 10:45 or 11. But it was always fun. It was an experience.
Or when 6 people convince you to open up for Forza 4, right?
Yeah.
And they show up drunk.
Yeah, that was
That individual.
true
right
story.
there.
Anyone?
This house is
Tony,
haunted.
what game did I reserve at your store that you held, and then I walked in at the time, and then you gave me I was the first one in line? That was the last midnight I went to, and I don't remember what it was. Whatever that game was, it was cool. But
it seems like
I
you
have
enjoyed it.
no idea what you're
a lot.
talking about, good sir.
I have
It
reserved
wasn't
something.
Skyward Sword because we didn't do a midnight
No.
for that.
Well, I remember, the Wii U, when that came out, it had no midnight anywhere that I could think of. I reserved it from Mark's store.
You did.
And it came out at 10 o'clock on that Sunday morning. And I show up at 9:50, and, they're still closed. Oh, there's nobody here. Okay. 10 o'clock comes, I see the guy open the door. I walk in, give them my pre-order, and walk out with my Wii U. And it was extremely uneventful. Where's
It's lame.
everybody?
It's lame.
I know.
Sucked.
It was awful.
That's exactly what I'm trying to get, and that's the one thing Amazon cannot replicate. I know a lot of people are turning into that I'll just order it, it'll come when it comes. Usually
That
launch
noon.
day, but you don't know what time exactly the mailman's going to get there.
Yeah,
You
Amazon
lose out
guarantee the
on
day,
that.
though.
Huh?
Amazon will guarantee launch day.
Yeah, but you don't know what time throughout the day.
Well, whenever your mail carrier comes, usually.
That's what I'm getting at. It varies, and there's no experience. It's like that. You're just by yourself. It's like, well, here's the game. Cool.
Halo 4. That was the game. You were working,
Yeah, I
and there
did
was a
Halo
lot
4
of
launch.
people, and I'm I text you, I'm like, can you put a reserve in for me for it? And then you put a reserve for me, then I show up, and you give me the number, and I'm in Group A.
Like you were there first with the tickets. Yeah.
I refused to take a number.
I was trying to do that for Jason during GTA 5. He's like, I don't want a fucking number. But then he hung around for
Did you do
I
it?
ended
2
up staying
hours.
for about an hour.
Right, yeah, you hung out late too, huh?
That's my
do
whole
that?
point. It's like
Let's
I don't
go
need a
somewhere
number
else.
because I'm going to be
Grand
here.
Theft Auto was huge.
They let you keep the store open, the
Yeah,
mall
it was
open?
huge,
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's
They
cool.
had about 50.
And the pizza place was open, too.
What are you
Really?
talking
Yeah,
about?
they
We had,
kept
like,
the pizza place.
over 100.
It was, yeah.
There was a pizza
You
place,
gotta
and there was a
remember, I
sign
was
at
in the back,
GameStop.
and I was just
Pizza,
waving.
$5.
The one that's in the food court. That's cool.
Right.
That's
They
nice.
stayed open for
Their
you guys.
pizza's
right?
not bad. The pizza's okay there.
That's kind of cool. I
Now
wonder
I'm
if
getting
anybody
hungry,
went there.
'cause these guys won't
I'm
be up.
hungry too. I'm so hungry.
I'm hungry. I'm cold though.
We good with that question? We're moving on?
Yeah.
Last question of the
I
day.
didn't answer.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't
Oh.
finish. I didn't
Oh,
finish
you didn't
my
finish.
answer.
Go ahead.
To hell with you guys.
I've never done it before, but the launch parties for councils where people stay for 3-4 days.
That's nuts.
That's just not even.
Never,
I
I've
can't
never
do
experienced it.
I remember there's this guy I watch. I used to watch. He used to have a channel.
Talk
on
about the
YouTube.
Triforce guy or someone else.
Oh, he does that. But
Yeah.
there's a guy, the Game Jew, and
Okay,
for the Wii launch, he went all out. Like he was the first one in line at the alley. He didn't pre-order it, and he was just waiting there. And he was there 72 hours before launch. And he brought his tent and his sleeping bag, and he had this portable power device, and he had a small TV, and they were playing Nintendo games, and he videotaped a lot of it and released it, and it was the most amazing thing to watch, and I wish I could experience that. It would be fun, just yeah.
You can experience that once a year on fucking Black Friday or whatever. Those fuckers be lining up right after Thanksgiving dinner. They'll go at fucking 4 or 5 p.m.
Except at our store at Civic Center. It was 5 people.
Well, GameStop doesn't really have midnight deals. It's just buy two get
they
one
have
free.
Oh, they do.
They do. They have doorbusters,
Oh, yeah.
whatever they want to call them now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's not that great.
Go for it, Brian.
It's the console deals.
I'm a bit of an introvert,
you
and I
get
don't
5,
like
6
waiting
of
in
them, that's
line.
about it.
So between those two things, I don't do a lot of rushing out to get stuff. I'll do the occasional midnight if it's a big game, or because my friends work at GameStop, so it's a little more fun.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
But if my friends did not work at GameStop, I wouldn't do it. I'd just order it, or I'd pre-order it and just pick it up on my way home from work.
There's 5 GameStops closer to my house, and I go to the one Tony works at.
Yeah, because
Just to see Tony.
Exactly. That's
I'm the guy who
pretty
drives
face.
the farthest to go see Tony every Monday. It's bad enough I have to see him all day Sunday.
you've got a GameStop
and then
right
I
there.
there's a GameStop in walking distance.
hold on.
Walking
You
distance.
can jump out the window and be at GameStop.
I pass 4 GameStops to go to work at GameStop.
Yeah. I used to drive past more, but that was a while ago. I drove from Skokie to Arlington Heights. I drove past 5 or 6 GameStops, and this was in
Why did they move me to that one?
Yeah, to test me. That was literally.
That's why I quit. Screw Arlington
That's
Heights.
why I quit. Ish.
All right. We good?
Yeah.
Last question. Ace, the Wonder Pup, wants to know, what's your favorite breed of dog?
Miniature Pinscher. I own 2 of them. They're
Min
fucking
pins are
awesome.
fun because you can tower above them, and they look so close to the picture that you feel like a giant. When I used to work at the animal hospital, there was a bunch of min pins, and I would let them out and just walk around among them like I was a giant. It was pretty funny.
I actually find corgis to be the cutest in the dog world.
What's a dog from Sandlot?
Ha! Is that a mastiff?
He's
It might be.
The
what's
gigantic monster dog.
Yeah, it was a mastiff.
We have the 2
Mastiff?
little
Yeah.
dogs. He's got the massive.
With where they have 75 chins.
Yeah. I was pinned by one of those
The
ones. It
huge
wasn't fun.
jowls.
You were pinned by
Well, I used to work
one.
at an animal hospital,
Okay.
and we used to keep a
That's
mastiff.
not how you help them.
No, it wasn't. It didn't hurt me. It was trying to declare its territory. Because we kept it with its mate, and it had a mate. It wasn't neutered, and so if you got between him and his mate, he would push you back.
Mm-hmm.
So he pinned me against the wall, barked at me, and then walked away.
And then walked away.
Yeah. I like big dogs. I don't know what would be my favorite breed. I like Huskies and German Shepherd looking
I love
more,
Huskies
more
are awesome.
wolf looking dogs.
Yeah.
But having worked in an animal hospital, they have serious separation anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
They basically howl from the minute you walk out the door until they see you again. They don't stop. They freak out. They have serious issues with that. So I don't know.
I'd
like
like
big
to have
dogs.
a husky that has some wolf in it.
Yeah.
A 1/8 wolf.
I had-
To the point where it could be domesticated, but
There
still
are-
has that inner rage.
I worked with a couple wolfhounds.
There's that danger
And,
about
yes.
it.
We had to keep there was a wolfhound. They had a family. These clients at the hospital, and they had to keep the male separate from the female and the child when they were in the cage. Otherwise, it would become too aggressive. So you actually had to let the female and the kid out to the run, bring them back, and then let the male out. If they got together,
Half husky, half
you were
wolf.
gonna get
Yeah.
attacked.
They're called Alaskan Malamutes.
No.
Male
They're-
mutes are kind of,
No, the one that's at my
Is it
next
big?
to my girlfriend's. That dog is she stands
Really?
to my hip.
There's Siberian
Siberian
Huskies
Huskies,
and there's Alaskan Malamutes.
Yeah.
They're different dogs.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying
Similar.
these ones are in bloodline with wolf.
You
They-
can-
Every dog is in blood.
well,
No.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can breed a wolf with
Yeah.
a Malum
Yeah.
Malum.
Malamute, and that's what her name's Isis. That's what she is. She's
Oh.
awesome.
Nice.
She's one of those where you walk up to her and she snarls at you, but she's smiling at you.
Cool story.
There's also
Cool story, bro.
the Corgi Husky, the mix. It's a Corgi mixed with a Husky. It's freaking cute. Imagine what a Husky looks like miniature.
Miniature?
It's pretty cute.
I also like Rush, Mega Man's dog.
Chop is
Cat
pretty
dogs.
badass in GTA 5.
Rush is
He
better.
humps a lot of things.
Yes, he does.
Is there gonna be a dog in Mighty Number 9?
Oh yeah, it's got to be like something like a synonym to Rush.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Dash.
All right. This has been episode 85.
Whoa. You're forgetting about the Impoverished Geek question of the week, sir.
The Impoverished Geek question of the week. I'm just trying to. We're like way over today.
I understand.
Deal with it.
It's really easy.
Microsoft style.
It's a quick one, okay? Yeah. Animal Crossing.
Oh,
Okay. What I want to know, and I'm not going to say anything other than this, is what system did it originally come out for, and what was it originally called? So it's a two-part question. I need two answers for
That's
it.
right. There is another name for it.
Mhm.
I forgot
Yep.
about that. You were
What's
I
the
can't-
original system that it launched for, and what's the original name of it? And before you
I
wrap it up-
just heard this last week on a podcast, and I can't remember.
Well,
Mark,
you don't want to answer it anyway.
run through them fast. Quick. Come on.
Alrighty, you can visit us at
Faster!
FwdCompatible.org. You can like us at Facebook.com/FwdCompatible
Quickly!
podcast. Follow us on Twitter at FCCompatible.
Hurry up!
Like, comment, share. YouTube.com/FwdCompatible. Like, comment, share us on iTunes and Stitcher. PSN for FWD Compatibles. Skype Forward Compatible. Twitch, we don't even have one. Steam Community Group. Forward Compatible, just look for it. You can email us the answer to that question. FwdCompatiblePodcast at gmail.com.
Go. This has been episode 85, part 1. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us next week, same time, same place.